Good afternoon, morning, whatever it is, everybody viewing today on Sports Media TV Unfiltered. Um, this is going to be a very, very hard segment for me to do because it is involving my lifelong favorite team and probably one of the best players to ever play on the basketball court in the NBA. Today, Tim Duncan has decided to call it quits. He's retired after 19 illustrious seasons with the San Antonio Spurs and 5 championships, multiple MVPs, multiple finals MVPs, and just being probably the best team-oriented superstar to ever play in any franchise sport. He is finally retired. Just coming at the age of 39. This is a moment to celebrate, and it's a sad moment at the same time because now we see the dawn of a new era, and we see the ending of an old era that was once the Big Three. And we have maybe one of the treasures of the game of basketball walking away from the court for the final time. Some say we should have saw this coming after the OKC series. After the Spurs lost Game 6, Tim Duncan made a point to point his finger up to the sky and to salute all the fans there in OKC. And you just got the feeling that this was his last hurrah. Well, now we know that was his last hurrah. Tim Duncan will be no more on the San Antonio Spurs roster. He may be an assistant coach. He might be a skilled trainer or something like that. You never know. He could stay around the game. But in terms of him wearing the Spurs uniform and bringing the level of greatness and the level of selflessness and the level of just can-do attitude and just intensity that he brought to this franchise, will be no more. And from that perspective, it's kind of sad, but from another perspective, this is a great day as well because now the torch has officially been passed over to Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Pau Gasol, and we can now see a brand new Spurs team emerge from this all-time great walking away from the game. It's surreal to me because Tim Duncan has done this every year for the past few years. You know, he picks up the player option and he says, I'll come back and play again. I'm not going to retire yet. I might retire. Oh, no, I'll come back and play again. But this time he actually means it. You know, he's done playing the game of basketball, and he's decided to announce his retirement. Now, he didn't get a great farewell tour like Kobe Bryant did, and he doesn't need one. His career speaks for itself. 19 consecutive 50-plus win seasons, 19 consecutive playoff berths for the Spurs, 5 championships, all-time leading scorer for the San Antonio Spurs, 3rd in assists, 5th in steals, 4th in blocks, just 2nd in rebounds. Just such excellence he has brought to this franchise, and it saddens me to have to say that he is going to hang it up. And this is me doing a segment as a biased sports fan because I have been nothing but a Spurs fan since I've ever started watching the NBA. They're the first team I saw and the only team that I've ever really backed. And for me, this is it's not emotional like in my personal life, but in terms of the way I view sports, this is definitely a very emotional occurrence for me because I can remember when Tim Duncan was playing back in 1998, and he was a young player, back when he couldn't even hit a free throw, and this guy would carry this Spurs team sometimes. I will never forget, some of his best career games. That 56-point game against the Phoenix Suns where he just went absolutely berserk in the playoffs, and he just dominated. He showed such utter dominance. His younger years when he was a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, back to back to back to back, and he won back-to-back Defensive Player of the Years, to the point where the NBA had to change the rules because this man was everywhere. He was so intimidating protecting the paint. He was so savvy, so instinctual, so lengthy, so smart that they had to change the rules to make the game fair. Just so many great memories, and congrats to Big TD21, man. You had a great career. We're gonna miss you in a San Antonio Spurs uniform. We look forward to retiring your jersey. No one is deserving to wear that jersey ever again. I don't care if LeBron James decided to come to San Antonio. No one's deserving to wear that jersey ever again. Ever since Tim Duncan has gotten here, the Spurs have been nothing but excellent, nothing but perfection. The model franchise, just pure class. And he's done nothing but make that better. And to see him walk away from the game, I tell you, is a shocking thing. But you know what? He's old. Both of his knees are out. He's given all he can give to the game. And I respect him and love him for that, man. Probably the best Spur to ever play. And definitely a top 5 player of all time, in my book. Maybe not in ESPN's book because they don't know what to value. But in my book, he's a top 5 player of all time. He put accolades behind him, and he focused on the team first. He helped propel this team to 19 straight seasons, making the playoffs with 50-plus wins, outside of a lockout season. He's been nothing but an ambassador for basketball, a great leader. He might not have been like a media darling like a Steph Curry or a LeBron James, where the media gets an interesting soundbite from him. But you know what? For one thing, he went out there, he did his job, he was a no-nonsense guy, and he won. That's what matters the most. He was a winner. He put winning above everything. He put his team above everything. He put playing ethically above everything. Something that some NBA superstars cannot do to save their lives. And it just goes to show how undervalued intangibles are. But with that being said, I'm going to end this segment because this is very, very tough for me to do. And I'm going to end it on this note. I look forward to watching the Spurs usher in a new era with their new stoic, the Claw, KL number 2, Kawhi Leonard, and LA number 12, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Pau Gasol at the helm of this new Spurs team for this new era. And we gracefully say goodbye to one of the most dominant eras in all of sports, in every sport. There has not been a more dominant team in all of sports. And this guy that is stepping away from the game and hanging this jersey up is one of the reasons for that. He's a big reason for that. So, to Tim Duncan, we bid farewell. This is Weldon Jones of Sports Media TV Unfiltered. Thanks for viewing, guys. Comment, subscribe, tell me what you think about Tim Duncan's retirement. And that's all, you guys. Thanks for watching.